Hey guys, Cainebourne back with Elder Scrolls Online. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about some of my favorite add-ons that I've discovered so far. This is by no way a definitive list of everything you must have, as these are kind of situational and there is definitely some personal taste involved, but these are the most useful ones that I have found so far. From a combination of just, content creators talking about what they like, finding things just in the store myself or the website that I showed in the prior video, esoui.com, and through the Minion Companion app. So I'm going to list off these first just to show you everything that I have, and then I'm actually going to describe them in a slightly different order because some of them do require me to be in situations where I'm in combat and stuff to kind of show them off completely, and other ones will work a little bit better when I'm in town. So the complete list of add-ons that I have are Advanced UI, Awesome Guild Store, Destinations, Foundry Tactical Combat, Lore Books, Master Merchant, Research Assistant, Shrendar, Skyshards, Tamriel Trade Center, Wykkyd Outfitter, and Wykkyd Toolbar. So that's 12. Some people have a lot more. Some people probably use a lot less. I do want to mention that you should watch my prior video that talks about how to install add-ons as well as how to deal with any memory issues for the Lua memory that you might run into that error. And I show how you can increase the memory and how to install these. Now I'm just going to be specifically talking about a couple of these add-ons. So first I want to start out with Wykkyd Toolbar. If you basically just look at the top here, this is the Wykkyd Toolbar. It shows me the time, which I like. Since I don't run this in Steam, I like to be able to look at the clock if it's not handy. Otherwise, I could be up all night playing Elder Scrolls Online. It's got my FPS counter, which is nice. It tells me what zone I'm in. It shows me my horse timer. This is a great reminder so that I remember to go train the horse for stamina and speed and things like that. It shows my inventory up here. My gold, and a couple of other things, and you can really customize that. You don't have to just have it that exact way. So Wykkyd Toolbar is just a nice little handy toolbar that's up on the top of your screen. Nothing incredible. Next is Advanced UI. You'll see that I'm in a small group right now, and when I'm in a larger group, the icons will change. So it does change that. It also changes things like when I'm in combat here, you'll see some other things flying up. Don't worry about too much of the other stuff yet. But if you could see my Magicka bar, my health bar, and my stamina bar on the bottom, they have a percentage on them, which I really like because that way I can kind of keep track of my health and stamina and all those kinds of things in a better way. Easier to see, easier to kind of keep track of how things are going. Also with Advanced UI, you'll notice that I have these additional toolbars here. So I have assigned the F keys to these. So I can switch between various potions, stamina, magicka, health, some siege repair equipment, food, that kind of stuff. So that's really helpful to be able to queue those things up and then just use them very quickly with Q instead of having to open up that radial menu. So there are quite a few good things about Advanced UI. And again, very customizable. A lot of things that you can add to that will be different and that you may like. After that, I have FTC, or Foundry Tactical Combat. You just saw that a little bit when I was attacking. I have it turned on. You see how my attacks are kind of flying by up in the right hand corner. The main reason I like this, I kind of prefer the in-game combat messages, which I have right over the mobs. What I do like about this thing though is it will give you certain messages, like it'll tell you to go ahead and cleanse yourself now because you're poisoned, as like a nice reminder. And the other thing is it will also tell you, and I'm trying to fight enough mobs here where I can get that to come up, but it'll also tell you when your ultimate is ready. So we'll see that in just a second here. Cleanse now, ultimate available. So that's really cool. Some little helpful reminders. Shows you how much EXP you got there. It's warning me that I'm bleeding. Different status effects. So a lot of different combat information. You can also have a combat log turned on in your text box there. That kind of gets annoying to me because I like reading chat. I'm one of the strange people that enjoys the ridiculous stuff that comes out of zone chat. But there's so many different options that you can deal with in Foundry Tactical Combat. Shrendar is pretty simple. It's just got a bunch of my buffs. If you look on the bottom right hand corner, increased max health is my food. I fed on an ally several days ago, so as a vampire that is down. It shows my Mundus Stone, that I'm in stage 4 vampirism, and then if I'm running active buffs, it's going to keep track of those too. So if I start doing, rally, I got major brutality, resolving vigor, there's a timer on all those things. That timer is really nice, especially when you're doing stuff like stealth and you want to chain it together exactly when it's about to go down. Rally also is something you always want to keep up. So it's really nice to have that active buffs in the bottom right hand corner. It does oftentimes block my EXP, but I can track my EXP in a lot of other ways. So that's not the end of the world. Then of course you guys have probably seen this in almost every video, and I don't think anybody doesn't have these, but lore books shows you where all the books are for the Mages Guild, and Skyshards is going to let you know where all the Skyshards are that are 1/3 of a skill point. So normally it'll lead you to all the delves and the ones that are just hidden throughout the map and stuff like that. So that is really nice. And then destinations is the last map one, and that's going to show me where world bosses are that I haven't even discovered yet. Pretty much anything on the map of interest or note. If you guys watched my Vampire Werewolf video, you will see that obviously it had even some additional things on there that really came in handy in order to be able to know where the altars were, where I could turn into a werewolf or vampire, and all kinds of stuff. So destinations should certainly not be overlooked as a very interesting and important app. I'm going to move myself out of combat area here so we can actually continue to discuss. So other than those, the majority of these will have to be shown actually in town or at a store. So I'm going to come back to you with those in just a second. But there is one more that I can cover, is Wykkyd Outfitter. I'm not going to get into it too much because I haven't used it a ton, but it's been highly recommended to me by some guilds and things. Basically, you're able to save gear sets and action bars that kind of correspond, so you can have totally different setups. So if you're using one gear set to sneak around and steal stuff and be stealthy and, certain abilities that would work that way, that could kind of be your stealing profile, whereas you then have a PvP setup and then maybe a dungeon setup. And just at a click of a button in your inventory screen, you're going to be able to apply those. So you can save them, you can equip them, you can, throw different outfits on. I've heard dressing room is better, so I will probably be looking at that soon. But at this time, I'm using Wykkyd Outfitter for that kind of stuff. And then I also have a add-on called Research Assistant. Research Assistant basically just lets you know with icons that are kind of coded whether or not you've actually researched what is on one of these abilities. And you can look into the app itself through the directions. I recommend you reading the directions on all of these before you use them, because there's lots of nuances that you'll miss. And even if I describe them, you probably won't be able to keep track. So it is basically going to warn you whether or not you have researched something already, or if maybe you have, or have not rather, but there is an item of lesser value or not as good of an item that you could sacrifice instead in the sake of your research. So that is very, very cool. So the only other two that, or three rather, that I want to show you require me to actually be at a merchant. So I'll be back with that shortly. Alright, so now that we're at a banker, I'll be able to show you some of the benefits of these other apps. I do want to mention, notice when I look at the banker, you could see his name, his level, and then his HP and percentage. That is also another function of advanced UI that I really like. Keep in mind that some of these things, these add-ons that I've shown you, will have sort of conflicting things, like FTC wants to show the enemy's information, the group information, your stats as well. So you can go ahead and disable that, or you can keep those active and turn off some of the stuff in advanced UI, or you can skip some of these altogether. So you can definitely mix and match. And I do want to show you that when you go into settings, you click on a new tab, which is add-ons, and you can manage them all right here. So you can see there's quite a bit of different settings and things. Like I have the combat information turned off from advanced UI. I don't want to see that because I'm already getting it from FTC, and also the in-game combat information. I do have the group information turned on at this point. I may change that. In destinations or lore books, you can kind of customize what you're seeing. So that is nice. With Research Assistant, there's some configuration there as well. As far as the icons, you can decide which buffs you want to show. It's very in-depth. So there's quite a few different settings inside of here. Furthermore, sometimes you actually have to go into the controls menu so that you can actually see how to set up some of these slots. For example, in the user interface, I think it is, or where is it? Right here for the advanced UI action bar. This is where I had to program. So I had to go into controls and key bindings and set the F keys in order to set the hot slots for my potions that you see in the middle left side right there. So definitely play around with the options. You can customize these things to your heart's desire. Some of them may seem kind of annoying or cumbersome at first, and then you may realize after you tweak them a bit that you really enjoy them. So I'd like to talk about the 3 final add-ons that I use. All of these are geared towards making you be able to utilize the guild market system effectively. In combination, they should make you a lot more money and save you a ton of headaches when dealing with the trade system, which by default can be very clunky, not user-friendly, and there's not really a lot of good information out here. I don't really recommend these so much as say that these are almost absolutely necessary. The first one is Awesome Guild Store. I'm not going to talk about it too much. There's a big, robust list of features. Just understand that basically it makes the Guild Store tab more user-friendly. Enhanced search functions, quality of life things. One of those things, I believe, and I've been using it, almost since the beginning, so can't even really tell the difference really sometimes. But one of the options is to click the drop-down menu and just switch to different guilds, and it changes the way the search filters work and all that kind of stuff. So again, just more of the UI and quality of life things when you're actually dealing with the guild store. But definitely highly recommended. And like I said, I've used it almost from the beginning, so they're probably an easier way to tell the difference once you load it up, but everybody has said that you can't live without it. After that is Master Merchant. Now, Master Merchant doesn't only work when you're at a store, but I'm going to talk about some of the features there. First of all, Master Merchant allows you, let's say you want to run a guild and you need to have access to information. It allows you to tell who the top sellers are and see exactly what they're selling. You can see your total sales for the guild, and you can basically see how much income you're making off of taxes. When you look at certain items, it has the sales scatter sales chart, or sales history scatter chart, I believe it's referred to as. And you can see here that, for example, this diamond has been sold. There's 14 sold in this guild trade store in the last 26 days. The highest price has been 20 gold. The lowest price is around 2 gold. And then there's sort of an average price as well. So that is nice. They also have a deal finder built into these items. So as you look at them, white being the least good of a deal, and then gold will be the best. Just like the items in the game are kind of color-coded that way. So you go from white, green, blue, purple to gold. If you see an item gold, you need to buy it immediately. If it's blue, it's a pretty good deal. If it's white, more than likely, not so much a good deal. So there is a lot of valuable information there that helps protect you as a consumer and also as a salesperson. Then you can also do a price check on items that you have, and basically do sort of a stats to chat thing. So if you have a buddy says, oh my god, do you have any idea how much this item is worth? You should be able to actually find that item. And I'm trying to look for an item that has the scatter chart here, but I don't really loot much at this point. Let's just take this stupid treasure map. And you can actually link the item in chat, but you can also do stats to chat. So this is going to say, oh, hey, Master Merchant has 6 sales in the last 24 days and goes usually for about 369 gold. So that is a very, very useful tool as well. So there's all kinds of reasons that you're going to want to have this. You can also have automatic pricing for things that you sell frequently, and there's also a notification of your sales. So like, for example, if I click this gentleman here and I go to Guild Store, it does show that, 18 days ago now, but still that these were some pretty good sales that I had. So I haven't used the market a whole lot right now. I'm focusing on leveling up, but it does keep information on your sales that you can look at personally. So very useful tool, very robust. But again, go to the actual page of that add-on and do your own reading, because it's more than I can possibly cover. It is an amazing tool. And then finally, the last thing that I want to mention is the Tamriel Trade Center. Tamriel Trade Center is awesome, but it is a little bit more involved. When you first go to a guild store after you've loaded it up, you'll have to scan all the listings for each guild. I have actually already scanned my listings, so they should be uploaded so I can quit that. But what it's doing is looking at every item in each of my guilds and then uploading it to a website. As I look at any guild store out in the world, I have the option to upload that information as well. And then when you window out of the game, you'll be able to track some information. Now, I just wanted to tell you, you do have to run a companion app if you're going to be running the Tamriel Trade Center. So basically, once again, as I showed in the last video, you go to Documents, you go to Elder Scrolls Live. Instead of going to Addons, though, you will go to Addons, but then you're going to go to Tamriel Trade Center, and you're going to go inside the client folder, and then basically you just run this client application. And what it's going to look like is this. And then you can set it up to run right when you start the game. You can set it up to run right when you start your PC. But this runs in the background and loads this information up to the website. So here's the website. And the cool thing about this is one of the few add-ons that Xbox and PlayStation users can use. I don't play on either of those systems, so I'm probably not the best source of information as to how that works. But you can look up that information. But if you're on the PC, now you have the benefit of all this information of people that have been uploading this information, and you're able to search your heart's content for items. And let's say, for example, you needed this motif here. It is going to tell you in the last couple hours, and this Master Merchant tracks by sales. This tracks by listings, so it's a little bit different. With a large enough pool of information, they should line up pretty well, and I've seen people link things from TTC as well as Master Merchant, and the prices are pretty close. But this will tell you where you've got to go, where it can be. So instead of a guild that you're in, you can find anything anywhere in the world. So this is an incredible tool for trying to get some better deals out there. So the combination of awesome guild store, Master Merchant, and Tamriel Trade Center should make you a ton of money and make this entire process a lot easier of buying and selling and all those sorts of things. So those are incredibly important. I love the different combat things and UI things and then ease of life things that I got going on. So everybody's been asking and asking and asking. Well, in the last video, I showed you guys how to install them and how to fix the memory issues. Here are all of the add-ons I use. So I guess these are my favorite add-ons or the best add-ons that I found in the game thus far. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video and if any of these add-ons end up being helpful to you. Please know if there's anything really cool that I've missed. Maybe I completely, don't know about something and you can educate me. That would be phenomenal. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to hear from you in the comment section.